What you are doing is what the whole universe is doing, right here, right now. You are something the entire universe is doing, just as a wave is something the whole ocean is doing. You are not separate from it. You are it. Now, that's not fatalism. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying you're some poor little puppet pushed around by fate, kicked here and there by life. That's what most people think when they hear this. They say, oh, so everything is determined? I'm just a machine running on someone else's program? No, that's not it at all. The fatalist says, I am separate from life. Life is doing things to me and I can't fight back. That's fatalism. That's the slave mentality. What I'm saying is something very different. The real you, the deep down you, is not some little thing being kicked around by life. The real you is life itself. You are the universe. You are the ocean that makes the wave. You are the whole process, growing, breathing, moving, unfolding. When you breathe, it's the universe breathing. When you move, it's the universe dancing. When you laugh, it's the universe laughing. And yet, most of us don't feel that way, do we? We've been tricked. We've been hoodwinked into a very peculiar hallucination, the belief that we exist only inside our skin. That's the big mistake. You see, most of us walk around thinking we are these little isolated creatures trapped in a bag of skin, looking out at a world that's separate from us. We think, here I am, and out there is the world, and I have to fight it, survive in it, conquer it. That's madness. And it's just as crazy as a man who thinks he's Napoleon, or worse, someone who thinks he's a poached egg and goes looking for a piece of toast to sit on. It's that insane. Because your real body is not just what's inside your skin. Your real body is the whole thing. The air you breathe is as much you as your lungs. The sunlight on your skin is as much you as your blood. The earth beneath your feet is as much you as your bones. You are not in the world. You are the world. But here's the problem. When you don't feel that way, when you believe this hallucination of separation, you begin to mistreat the world. You treat it as an enemy. You try to beat it into submission. And what happens when you do that? Disaster. You see it everywhere. We cut down millions of acres of forest just to turn them into newspapers full of, well, mostly nothing. Lovely trees turned into information about nothing. And we don't even replace them properly. Why do we do this? Because deep down we feel like victims. We feel like the world is kicking us around, so we kick it back. But here's the great irony. The world you're fighting is you. You are fighting yourself. And that's why the world seems so hostile, because you're treating it as if it's something foreign, something to conquer, instead of something you are deeply, inseparably part of. Now, this misunderstanding, this hallucination, is why we need a completely new kind of consciousness, a way of seeing ourselves that is not trapped in this tiny little ego, this little me rattling around inside our heads. Because you're not just that. Think about it for a second. Do you know how you're alive? You don't grow your hair consciously, do you? You don't sit there saying, all right, let's push another hair out, let's color it black, curl it a little. You don't shape your bones, pump your heart, or secrete all those chemicals your body needs to survive. You do it, but you don't know how you do it. And yet, you are doing it. Just as the sun is shining, just as the stars are moving in their great dance, you are breathing, digesting, growing, beating, being. Because underneath the little conscious I that worries about things, there's another self. A deeper self. The real you, and that deeper you is not separate from anything. The more you become aware of it, the more you realize you are not just this skin-bound creature. You are the galaxy spinning. You are the Milky Way turning. You are the vast universe unfolding right now as you. One day, you might wake up, look around and say, my God, this is me. All of it. This whole thing is me. And when you see that, something extraordinary happens. You realize you've never been separate. You've never been alone. And you've never really died, because how can the universe die? You've been John Jones, Mary Smith, Betty Brown, and you'll keep appearing forever and ever, playing different roles, wearing different masks. And when you really get that deeply, in your bones, you stop fighting. You stop trying to force life to go your way. You understand something very simple, very profound. The universe isn't going anywhere. It's not on a mission. It's not racing to some grand finale. It's just dancing. And you, yes, you are that dance. So, let's take this a little further. If you want to understand how we treat the world, how we treat ourselves, you have to look at what we believe about nature. Because the way you think about nature is the way you think about you. Now, in the history of philosophy, there are really three basic views of nature, and each one tells you something about how people see themselves. The first view is the Western one, the one we inherited from the Hebrews and carried through the Industrial Revolution. In this view, nature is a machine, a construct, an artifact made by God, or, if you don't like the word God, some cosmic engineer out there somewhere. The Hebrews pictured God as a potter shaping clay. The Greeks imagined a divine architect drawing up blueprints. And Christians, well, they called him the Creator, as if he was a carpenter making a table. And it's not insignificant, you know, that Jesus was the son of a carpenter. That idea runs deep in the Western mind. So, in this view, the world is a thing that's been put together. And if it's been put together, then somebody knows how it was put together. There's a master plan, a blueprint. That's the Western God, the great engineer sitting in his workshop, making the world like a watchmaker crafting a watch. Now, in the 18th century, things began to change. People started doubting whether there really was a God. But even when they threw out the idea of the divine watchmaker, they kept the idea of the watch. They still looked at the world as a machine, just a machine that somehow built itself. Newton's physics came along and suddenly the whole universe was gears and levers, masses and forces. And to this day, most of us still think that way. You can hear it in the way we talk. My body is wearing out, I need a tune-up. The brain is just a computer. We treat ourselves as if we're machines. And what do you do with a machine? You control it. You manipulate it. You take it apart to see how it works. So that's what we've done to nature. We treat it like a thing, something to exploit, to push, to dominate. But there's another way to see it. The second view comes from the East, from China, India, and much of the ancient world. Here, nature isn't a machine. It's not made. It grows. It's more like a tree than a table, more like a cloud than a clock. The Chinese have a beautiful word for this, sujian. It means that which happens by itself. The way grass grows, the way clouds form, the way your heart beats without you ever telling it to. The Taoists, the Buddhists, the Hindus, they all look at the universe as something that happens naturally, like a great living organism. And if you see it that way, you don't ask who's in charge. You don't ask who's controlling this. because no one controls it. Just like no one sits inside your body, pulling levers to make your heart beat or your hair grow. It does itself, and you are part of that. This is why in the East people talk less about conquering nature and more about living in harmony with it. The whole idea of Tao the Way is about moving with the current, not against it. Because if you fight it, you're just fighting yourself. And then there's a third view, one that goes even deeper. The Hindus call it Lila divine play. In this view, the world is not a machine. It's not just an organism either. It's a drama, a play, a great cosmic game of hide and seek. And here's the trick. You are God playing hide and seek with yourself. You've hidden from yourself on purpose so you can have the thrill of finding yourself again. Because after all, what fun would hide and seek be if you always knew where everybody was? So here you are, pretending to be you, this little person with your worries, your struggles, your joys, your heartbreaks. But deep down, you know it's a game, because if you remembered who you really were, if you remembered you were the whole universe, you wouldn't be able to enjoy the play. And so, you take it seriously. You cry. You laugh. You fall in love. You suffer. You get scared. Just like an actor on stage, you play your role as if it's the only reality. But eventually the curtain falls, you take a bow, and you go back to being what you really are. Then, of course, you do it all over again. Now, which of these three views is correct? Is the world a machine? Is it an organism? Or is it a cosmic drama? Well, that depends on how you see yourself. If you think you're a machine, the world will look like a machine. If you feel alive and growing, you'll see the world as alive and growing. And if you realize this is all play, you'll treat life like a dance. But here's the real question, and it's the one that changes everything. What if all three are true, depending on how you choose to play the game? So, where does this all lead? Why does it matter whether you think the world is a machine, an organism, or a play? Because how you see the world is how you live in it. And how you live in it is how you live yourself. If you think it's a machine, you'll try to control it. If you think it's alive, you learn to move with it. And if you see it as a play, well, you'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll bow at the end, knowing you were never really in danger. You see, we keep asking life the wrong question. We keep asking, what's the meaning of it all? Where is it going? What's the point? But that's like asking, what's the point of dancing? You don't dance to arrive at a particular spot on the floor. If that were the point, dancers would simply rush across the room and stop. No, the point of dancing is the dance. The point of music is the music. You don't listen to a symphony just to hear the last note. You listen to the whole thing, every rise and fall, every tension and release, every moment of beauty. And life is exactly the same. It's not a journey. It's not going anywhere. It's not racing toward some final destination where you can say, I made it, I've arrived. The whole idea of getting somewhere is a kind of illusion. You're already here. You were always here. Because the universe isn't traveling to some finish line. It's not marching. It's dancing. And you are part of that dance. Most people don't get this. They live as if life were a race. Always running, always rushing, trying to make it, trying to get ahead. Get ahead of what? Ahead of everyone else? Ahead of time? Ahead of yourself? And when they finally make it, they don't even know what they've been chasing. Have you noticed? People work like mad to retire, and then when they retire, they don't know what to do with themselves. They've been so busy running to the music's end that they forgot how to dance. And so they feel empty, but that's because they missed the secret. The secret is you're not supposed to get anywhere. You're supposed to be here, to play, to dance, to enjoy the music while it lasts. And when you really see that, you relax. You stop forcing. You stop trying to control everything because you realize it's all you anyway. Think about it. The whole universe has been building up to this moment, to you, sitting here, breathing, listening, existing. Billions of years of stars exploding, planets forming, life evolving, all of it. Just so this particular expression of the universe you could happen. And here you are. You are the universe looking at itself. You are the galaxy thinking about itself. You are the whole thing, pretending to be just a person for the sheer joy of the game. And the game is hide and seek. You've hidden from yourself so you can play. You've forgotten that you are God, that you are the eternal thing, the great self, because if you remembered it all the time, there'd be no surprise, no thrill, no fun. So you take it seriously. You worry, you hope, you cry when things go wrong, you laugh when things go right. But deep down, you know, somewhere in the quiet of your heart, you know you can't ever lose. Because when the game is over, when this life ends, you'll wake up. You'll take off the mask. You'll laugh and say, I almost forgot it was just a play. And then, of course, you'll do it all over again. So stop trying to push the river. Stop fighting life as if it's something happening to you. It's not happening to you. It's happening as you. You are the wave. You are the ocean. You are the dance itself. And when you really feel that, not just think it, but feel it in your bones, everything changes. You stop worrying about where it's all going. You stop clinging to the past or grasping for the future. You start laughing more. You start loving more. You start moving with life instead of against it. Because then you understand the great secret. The universe isn't serious. It's not a duty. It's not a machine grinding towards some goal. It's a divine game. A beautiful, endless cosmic dance. And the only thing you need to do is dance with it.